Countries, Western countries, all on board for Agenda 2030. The people in charge of climate finance for the UN, Mike Bloomberg, the billionaire, and Mark Carney. I think your viewers know enough about Mark Carney to know why that's insane, and to think that Mark Carney and Jamie Dimon and Mike Bloomberg and Bill Gates and all of these guys just care so much about the planet and not about robbing you of all of your wealth, which is what they've spent their entire careers doing. I just remember how Jamie Dimon a few months ago was like, well, we should just seize people's private property for, climate change policy. Remember that? Like, private property doesn't exist to Jamie Dimon. If his friends at Goldman Sachs, who basically designed all this, crap that the UN is backing, and green finance and blue finance for Mother Earth and whatever, if those projects decide that they want your property, I guess they'll just turn off your money or whatever and take it. I mean, do you really want to give these guys total control?
Today we have Whitney Webb, discussing the major events coming in the months ahead and why it's much worse than people think. Artificial intelligence has emerged, offering a massive advantage in productivity and innovation. Yet there's a very disturbing aspect to AI. It can be wielded as a means of control and manipulation. Whitney Webb's recent interview sheds light on this dual nature of AI, cautioning against its misuse in the wrong hands and its capacity for unprecedented manipulation when armed with extensive data, and why this is unlike anything we've seen in history. Let's get right into the video with Whitney Webb, as she gives her prediction for what's coming in the days and weeks ahead.
Well, now we've basically been taken over by corporations, and now the business of the businesses of the world is our business. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said.
I like to think it's what he said.
The UN's not your friend, guys. What we have right now is them literally tokenizing all their existing rackets to move it into this new, fourth industrial revolution paradigm. That's literally what is happening across the board, and people just, don't recognize it. And they're cloaking it in all this stuff, specifically with, SDGs and Agenda 2030. It's this will make a better world. And then you actually, look at it, and it's this is insane. Why are all bankers in charge of this? I hate it so much. But I mean, you go back into the UN, the UN Secretary General Kofi Annan, at the end of the 90s was yeah, so how we used to be at least viewed as the public sector, the public sectors of the world all coming together to democratically vote on stuff. There's so much I could say. Anyway, I could literally go on for hours and be here's an example of why you should never trust the bankers, and still there's going to be that handful of people with the hashtag Jerome Powell is my pal and Jamie Dimon is my knight in shining armor, and I sometimes you just can't reach people, dude, In order to create this space where they want to push people into this new system, there's going to be chaos and there's going to be instability. And so the comfort and convenience that keeps people asleep will be disrupted. What people do in that point in time is the most critical about this whole thing, about how it plays out. Seriously, that is the most important window. And again, that is why it's so important to be local. Because, there's a big cyber tech on the financial system. The internet goes down for a couple of days. What are people going to do? They're going to go out in the street and look for answers, figure out what's going on. This is why it's important to know what's going on and couple that with having, connections in your local community so you can direct people about what needs to be done and what's happening at that point in time. It's very important. Well, also the internet, when it turns back on, isn't going to be like the internet now at all. No. They're going to put AI in charge of literally all content. Your ID is going to be tied to not just everything you post online, but everything you read and consume, every site you visit.